to this Stockbox interview. Joining me on Stockbox today is the CEO of Power Metal Resources, Paul Johnson. Now, Paul, it's been a little while since we spoke the last time we actually sat down in person, which was very nice to have a sit-down interview. And in the space of time from then now, there's been a lot of announcements from Power Metal Resources, a couple of big ones as well. So can you perhaps quickly touch over some of the latest highlights and how that fits into the business model?
Yeah, sure. We've put out various announcements, mostly in respect of the active operations, exploration operations in the business, because each of our projects are material in the context of power and its market value at the moment. So, we've been giving regular updates on those. And then earlier on this week, we announced our first move into uranium exploration, with the acquisition of some properties in the Athabasca Basin in Canada. So it's a busy time, and we are literally, the engine's fully running at the moment.
Okay. Now, I'd like to deal with perhaps three issues that I've picked up from private investor comments. And the first one really is about material exploration news. Have you had any material exploration news, or do you expect some soon?
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. And we're doing some media material so we can help articulate this. You're looking at this stage in our business, or the state in the last 2 years, to see the things that indicate major discoveries may be around the corner. In Botswana, we've had significant nickel at Malopo and proof of the geological concept. Major targets. Obviously, we need to crack on with the work and get to the next stage. The Tati project in Botswana, up to 26.5 grams a ton gold in rock sampling, multi-kilometre nickel arsenic anomalies. Very positive results so far. And in the Kalahari Copper Belt, those major airborne electromagnetic and soil anomalies at South Ganzi copper silver. In Australia, Victoria Goldfields, multiple drill targets. Not surprising, the area that we have under license application or grant is heavily mineralized with gold. In the Patterson, we have the magnetic bullseyes, gold copper targets that are comparable at the moment, at least, to Javier. So very exciting there. And then people will remember, of course, from last year, the 6.8 kilometre copper cobalt anomaly at Kasinka, where the project has a 25-year granted production license, quite amazingly. And Silver Peak in Canada, remember that bonanza grade silver, 14,937 grams a ton from channel sampling last year. So these are all the kind of historic hits that we think are worth pursuing and could lead to major discoveries.
What campaigns are ongoing right now and throughout the rest of this year to further explore on your properties and find a mineral resource?
Yeah, that is that is where it does get interesting, because the past is all well and good, and what we've found so far is a great basis to move forward. But what really matters to people is what's coming up, and I might not be able to keep quite the same order as before because I can't remember. But let's look at Botswana first of all. We have 4 project interests in Botswana. We're across the country. We're probably one of the most active participants in country amongst the junior space. The Tati project, Botswana, this is targeting gold and nickel near Francistown. We've got geophysics underway, which is the final step before reverse circulation drilling planned by the end of this month, September. So that's very near-term drilling that's coming up. We've got some interesting targets emerging, and once we get the drilling done, we're going to start to see what's below the surface, and it should be very exciting. We don't know until we drill. At the Kalahari Copper Belt in our JV with Kavango, we've got that diamond drilling plan for the copper-silver targets at South Ganzi. Those are pretty substantial targets, to say the least, and given my experience at Metal Tiger in 2016 with the discovery of T3, I can tell you, if you strike there, then it's a tremendous opportunity for the company as a whole. If we go Over to Australia, FDR Australia, which is, to surmise, in the Patterson. This is where Greatland Gold's Javieron is situated. We're doing some seismic reprocessing and passive seismic to further target the drills for the big gold copper potential discoveries. These are deep holes that we're looking at. 500 meters. So you need to get your targeting right. You can be slightly off and miss. So, we need to do the preparatory work. But FDR Australia is building into something quite interesting. If I look at the Victoria gold fields, we want to get drilling on those initial gold targets. The area is peppered with gold mineralization. Now, people will say, well, Victoria Goldfields is moving into its own IPO vehicle. Yes, it is. But as with all our IPO vehicles that we're looking at in our business, work will continue through the IPO process. So please don't think anything will stagnate, because it simply won't. So drilling of those gold targets would be absolutely fantastic. Over in Canada, we've got the diamond drilling completed, as we said before, and we've got assay results awaited from that. So as soon as we get them out of the lab and we've interpreted them, then of course we'll come straight to the market. We're quite excited because the core was heavily oxidized, which was similar to the channel samples we took in summer last year that delivered the 14,937 grams a ton silver, I think. Quite a dramatic result. So maybe we can get something similar. We will see. OTA North, we've just announced that we started the prospecting and sampling over key targets. Now, OTA North is sat next to the OTA Lithium project, which is held by Sayona Minerals, a 1 billion Aussie dollar market cap business. And we're adjacent to the north. So very exciting for us to be looking at that for the first time post-acquisition. And that's not it. There's Golconda project in Nevada, USA, part of our gold and metal resources package, which is seeking its own independent listing. As I said before about Victoria, just because it's going through an IPO process doesn't mean we're stopping the work. So we're looking at trenching and sampling. We're going after surface, near surface, high grade gold targets there. So you never know, we might get a surprise there. We're quite excited about Golconda. It's an interesting project within the portfolio. And there are lots of other things happening around the business. We're looking to move on with our trenching, sampling, and obviously assaying following the sampling at the Alamo Gold Project in Arizona, where we're just waiting for permits. So we probably have some activity across every single project that we have an interest in. But those are some of the highlights for the rest of 2021. It's going to be a busy period.
Okay, good. Now, I've asked you this before, and you've understandably avoided the question, but I'm going to ask you again. What do you think? Do you have a favourite here across one of the projects in the portfolio? Where do you think the big surprise is going to come from?
Yeah, it's a bit like Bruce Forsyth used to be on Strictly Come Dancing, where he used to say to every single couple that they're his favourites. And it is like that with our projects. We don't have bad projects, or real second, third tier projects. We're excited about all of them. But okay, let's. I think Tati Project Botswana has surprised us. I think that we've moved exceptionally quickly through the exploration program leading into drilling. I mean, it's a super, super fast program. The targets that have emerged are certainly bigger than we anticipated at the start. We knew it was interesting. Otherwise, we wouldn't have engaged. But what we're seeing emerge from the sampling that's been undertaken is very interesting. And we just need to get into drilling with that to see what's there. The advantage with Tati is we've already paid £50,000 towards the drilling, because the option agreement at Tati was a down payment of £50,000 that was offsettable against drilling. So it's going to be a very kind of low cost program for us to do that work, because we've paid so much already. Kalahari Copper Belt every day of the week. I saw what success in the Kalahari Copper Belt can do to a company with Metal Tiger back in 2016 with the discovery of T3? Well, we're 35 kilometres down the road at South Ganzi in the partnership with Kavango Resources, and they're very substantial targets to say the least. And we just need to drill these things and see what's there. So that's quite an exciting program for us. We're doing all the preparatory work. Even though we might be very excited, we still need to make sure we've got the best targets. So when we get drilling there, it will be a point of great excitement for all the partners. I'm just trying to think in terms of the business. FDR Australia. I was on the board of Greatland Gold in 2016. And I think I just clipped the point when Javieron was being looked at as a possible investment. We just completed the 2016 restructuring and refinancing when we put in money at 0.1 pence a share in Greatland. Can you believe that? And then when we left the board, then Javieron came in shortly afterwards and then changed the whole nature of Greatland and drove its value up dramatically. And for our business, we have so many different interests. Perhaps it's not noted that, the Patterson project is there. It's showing similarities to Javieron. And there's some work to do before we can drill. It's not that far away, but we need to finish off this work. But then when we do go drilling those targets, what's interesting is that if we have a smidgen of success, then the market is already accustomed to what can happen to the valuation of the company if a Javieron type discovery is made. I'm not saying it will. The odds are against it, quite frankly, with these deep drills. But if it does, the market knows that rather dramatic valuation can come in very quickly if you're successful. So I think that one's particularly exciting as well. But, I could go around all of them, to be honest, but I suppose those three are particularly intriguing. A quiet favorite, Golconda, Nevada. When we get doing that work, there was circa 8 meters at 24, 25 grams a ton gold from historical exploration near surface from trenching. The Golconda is in an area that's surrounded by multi-million ounce mines. It's a hugely prospective area in Nevada, so that could throw up some interesting results as well.
Okay, well, Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.